Hey guys, my name is Sarah, and I know that I've got my Christmas tree behind me, I've got my Christmas sweater on, but today I'm going to be talking about my personal experiences with the supernatural. So I am a big believer in ghosts, and I have been for a long time. So yeah, I just want to go through like some stories that I've got for you. I do have a couple of trigger warnings though. I'll obviously be discussing death, ghosts, also be discussing a car accident, death by car accident. I'll be discussing death of an animal. Yeah, it's got some heavy stuff, so you don't want to hear it, just click off now. However, if you do want to stay, do want to listen to this, please consider liking and subscribing and leaving a comment if you enjoy this type of content. So first off, so I've got like when you bring up like ghosts and spirits and stuff, you do end up in like kind of a religious spot, and I just want to let you know that I'm not trying to convince you of anything. This is just my personal beliefs and my experiences and kind of what that has led me to believe today. First story I have a vague memory of, so it's mostly secondhand from my mom. I've also got a little cup of coffee here. This is more fall themed, fall Halloweeny themed. It's salted caramel made at home. I've got a Swan espresso machine. I was like 100 pounds off Amazon. She is gorgeous. She's got this like, she's a retro blue one. Absolutely stunning. Anyway, like I was saying, yeah, I'm telling this story mainly from what I've heard from my mother. So I was like 5 or 6 years old, and I was meeting my stepdad's family. So we were all staying at my Aunt Debbie's, and it was a summer thing. And it was me and my cousins on my stepdad's side, and we were all kind of told, don't go into this room. Like, don't go in here. This is the only place you're not allowed, basically. And as kids, obviously makes you want to go in more. And I do remember being like attracted to like the room after being told no. And normally, I don't know about you guys, but I was definitely like a rule follower. So I was like, all right, not supposed to go in there, but I just couldn't fucking help myself, man. I remember being attracted to the room, and just wanting to go in there. So I did. Now the rest of this is kind of from my mom's perspective. So she comes in, and I am sat on the bed and I'm watching the TV, and she's like, what are you doing here? And I'm like, oh, Kenny said I could be in here. And she's like, what do you mean Kenny said you could be in here? She's like, I said I could be in here, said I could hang out. And she pulls me out of the room, and she tells my aunt about it. So come to find out, right? I did not know any of this. This was not explained to me. My parents, they know how upsetting the story is for my aunt, so they did not tell me, because obviously she didn't want us to know. Didn't tell us why we weren't supposed to go in the room. Just said, you're not supposed to go in here. She clearly didn't want any of us to know. Basically, her son Kenny had been hit by a drunk driver while he was on his motorcycle, and had passed away. And that was his room. He was 18 when that happened. I had no context for this. There was no way I could have known. None of the adults were talking about it. Like, there was absolutely no way that I could have known about Kenny. At least from, again, the story that my mom tells me. But I do remember the room having like a feel to it, which obviously like a room that was somebody's room that's now kind of a memorial, like you weren't allowed to touch anything in there. After this happened, every single time that any of like the kids, the cousins, whatever would come over, they'd be like, all right, this is Kenny's room. You can look in there for a minute, and then we're not going. Like, we get like a tour. Like, all right, this is a room. Don't go back in there. So yeah, that was thanks to me and my little ghostly experiences. Right, so I feel like every house that I've lived in has been haunted in some type of way. And if you guys know the saying, places aren't haunted, people are, that's fucking concerning. So yeah, every house I've lived in has been haunted, and my childhood home, every single time that I would have friends over, they'd always tell me that they hear something, they feel something. They would tell me that they hear something, they feel something, something's not right. And I'd be like, man, you're just crazy. But basically, when I was super young, I was a believer. And then when I was about 9 years old, I stopped believing because I was scared. I had to convince myself that that wasn't real because I was scared. And then when I was around 13, I was depressed. And when you are in a weak place, spirits tend to be attracted to you, like not so kind spirits. So I would see stuff on my wall. I would feel very afraid all the time. And that did lead me kind of to more like a religious belief, because praying would help that stuff go away for me. Yeah, again, I'm not pushing religion at all. You believe what you want to believe. I'll believe what I want to believe. We can all have peace. We're going to skip ahead to where I already believe in ghosts, kind of in this timeline, because I'm going to save my worst story for last. So I was around 15 or 16. I was in the car with two of my friends, and I was the one that was stuck in the back seat. What can I say? Always the one in the back seat. And we were just talking, whatever. Like, they were talking, and I wasn't listening. I don't know. I couldn't focus. I was like looking out the window. And I just like, everything was like hazy, and I just couldn't focus. It was so weird. And then all of a sudden, one of my friends in the front seat, he said, "Oh my God, do you guys see that?" And mind you, where we're parked at like a park, and there's like a lake in front of us. We're parked right in front of a lake and a dock. And he goes, "Oh my God, do you guys see that?" And we're like, "No, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, what is going on?" He's like, it's walking towards the water. It's crawling into the water. He's like freaking out. I've never seen him act that way. So we drive off, and the way that like the park is built, it's like a one way. So we had to drive back by, and we didn't see anything the second time, but he refused to tell us what he saw until we were out of the park. So he said that he saw a, black figure, right, that was like super, super tall, but it was like arched forward or something, like its back was broken, he said. He said he saw it walk up the dock and then crawl into the water. And I do remember at like that night, me and I stayed the night at one of those friends' houses. Me and her stayed up for a very, very long time researching drownings in our public park that was there, and we did find something. Unfortunately I can't find the article now, but I do remember reading it as a child. Again, these are anecdotal stories. You don't have to believe me if you think this is a bunch of mumbo jumbo and there's no article, whatever. Like, that's fine. But I do remember reading it, and we're just really freaked out. And that place always has just like a weird vibe to it. I don't know what to say. It just always is so weird there. This one is pretty mild. So my friend and I were walking through like the woods. It wasn't like super wooded. It was still like by just like normal, like a highway and a road and stuff. But we were just walking through like the woods, and we were talking about Skinwalker Ranch. And if you don't know what Skinwalker Ranch is, please look up a video. There are hundreds of thousands of millions of videos about skinwalkers on YouTube. So we were discussing Skinwalker Ranch, and it was like the summer, so like everything is like loud and noisy, and like there's like the wind and just, you know, birds, animals, whatever, the works. We just started just talking about it. And then all of a sudden, everything went very, very quiet. I'm so scared that something's gonna pop up in that bottom corner, by the way. I'm gonna move that. Oh my God, I don't know why that's freaking me out so much. Psyching myself. Ugh. Anyway. Everything just suddenly goes super silent. And we're like, what the fuck? Like, is going on? It's summer, it's windy, like we can see the wind like moving stuff, but we can't hear like shit, man. My hair. But we can't hear anything. And all of a sudden we hear this like rustling in like the woods nearby. And mind you, where we're at, like there's no way that there would have been like a coyote, a fox, like nothing. out there. It just would have been birds. And that sounded way bigger than a bird, way bigger than a squirrel, rustling in like the brush that was quite close to us. So we just took off. We just left. We were very freaked out. I know that one's very mild. A lot of these stories do kind of end with us just like, and we're running away because we would get scared. Yeah, we just left. What else can you do? It's fucking horrifying. I know I just spoke about seeing something in that corner, and there is a reason for that. So this doorway, we have a little bit of a history with it, unfortunately. So I've seen stuff out of the corner of my eye from there. I have heard stuff coming from over there. And like before we moved in, we saged the house, right? And a couple months later, I just kept seeing and hearing shit. And I asked my husband, I was like, do you think our house is haunted? My husband's quite skeptic. And he goes, do you think our house is haunted? Bro, what do you mean? Of course I think it's haunted. What do you mean? So he told me that he has also been hearing and seeing stuff specifically from over there. And we had some friends over in the summer, and we were all like sat on the floor kind of where I'm at, and I was like had my feet to the and I had my feet to the door, facing inwards towards everybody else. Now the person across from me, she was like someone just ran. Like she was like, it looked like a person running across there in between there from the stairs into the bathroom. And it just, fuck, man. Fuck. It's so creepy. It's so creepy. Oh God. It's only 3:15 and my husband's not gonna be home for like another 2 hours. I should have started filming this like in an hour, like right before he gets home. Anyway. I'm freaking myself out. I truly am. I don't know why I decided to film this. I am in fact a pussy ass bitch. That's why I stopped believing when I was a kid, is because it freaks me out, dog. Right, I think it's time to get serious, and we'll go into my personal worst and scariest story. So, like I said, I stopped being a believer when I was younger, and then when I was like 15, 16, I was a believer again, and there's a reason, there's a specific story for that. So there's this place in my town, my hometown, that we call Hell's Bend. It is a train cart on a piece of track, and it's out in the sticks. So basically there was a train crash there, and I'm fucking freaking out, man. I just feel like I'm gonna hear something, I'm gonna see something. Oh, I'm actually bugging. I'm bugging right now. I want my Mila. I want the dog. I want the dog to sit next to me. Oh God. Anyway, so Hell's Bend. It's one train cart with one piece of track, and it's out in the woods. Me and my friends would go out there sometimes, and then one night, like it's always very creepy. There was like a train crash there, and I think it was a landslide, and it killed a bunch of people. Like it was fucking bad. But me and my friends decided, oh, let's go out there tonight. Let's go out there tonight. Let's go in there tonight because we're 16 and we're fun. We're fucking stupid. So we go out there. I don't know at what time. I think it was after midnight. We go out there and nothing happens. We are back to the car, but my friend's car has this really cool feature where you have to shut the back of the van door from the outside or it doesn't lock right. So we are in the car, we're driving away, and my friend's like, oh, get out and shut the door, will ya? And I'm like, I will, but I won't do it on the fucking air spray went off. I won't do it on the... I'm bugging. I was like, I won't do it on the bridge. Like, I just won't. She was like, oh, get on the bridge so you're not gonna do it like next to the fucking woods and get taken. Like, we'll be able to see you. And I was like, fine. So I do it and I get back in. I just have this like feeling, like, just after I was like, I don't like that. That wasn't good. It started kind of like in my lower back. And if you know, you know, it starts in your lower back. I get home, it's like 3 a.m. And I wake up and I like look over and there's a shadow figure on all fours across the room from me. And it darts from across the room until it's right in front of my face. Like, I mean, like right here, and then it's gone. Yeah, I have never experienced anything like that. And mind you, I'm not the first person. Whoops, sorry. I'm not the first person from my hometown to experience something like that. There are several stories of shadow figures following people home from this place. Fortunately, I'm not special. So yeah, I, for a long time, dealt with this entity, we'll call it an entity in my house, in my room with me. There was one time, it was the era of the Snapchat dog filter, all right? I was filming and I had the Snapchat dog filter on, and I'm like, hey, if you're here, pop up behind me. Fucking dog ears pop up behind me, the like Dalmatian pair. And I was like, oh my God, right? So I stopped filming to save the video, phone crashed. Phone completely crashed, did not save my video. Man, I'm freaking out. I am freaking out. Crashes, and it never did that before, and it didn't ever do it after. It was only that time where I caught that on camera. Did that. What's going on behind me? Oh my God. I'm freaked out, man. I don't know how much longer. I'm almost done. Yeah, my phone never did that before, and it never did it after. It was just when I had filmed it. And then there's another time that I had a candle lit, and I have a candle lit right now, and I was asking it to move the light. I feel like I need to speak quieter because I'm scared. I'm like actually so fucking scared right now. I'm like sat on my hands. I don't know what else to do. I ask it to move the candle, and it's following the directions I'm giving it, and just like to a T it was. And that obviously very much freaked me out. So that's when I started kind of speaking to my mom about it. And she was like, you need to tell it to leave. She was like, I've like felt something with you in your room for like a couple months. You need to tell it to go. So I did, and it left. Thankfully, thank God. Oh gosh, that shit was crazy. That was like actually an insane time in my life, for that to be happening. I don't know. Like that like rocked my world, if I'm being honest with you. At that time I was so like scientific, and I was like, everything must be seen, and blah, 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 blah. And after that I was like, what the fuck? So I'm no longer this scientifically minded person. I enjoy spiritualism, and not like spiritualists, but like just, yeah, the other otherworldly stuff. There's another time that we went out to Hell's Bend. It was me and another friend. And this is where the dog stuff comes in. So if you don't want to hear about that, please skip. Basically, we were going out there, and my friend had never been, and we are walking up, and there's like a deceased dog. It's like a cattle dog, and we're, like I said, we're out in the sticks, you know. But I don't know, there's something about the way it was where it looked like somebody had like hurt it, like did something on purpose. But it was like, it was decayed a bit, so you couldn't really tell. Like it was awful. Poor baby. Yeah, poor thing. We leave, and me and my friend are just driving around the sticks, and my friend has always been into otherworldly stuff. So he stops somewhere, and he goes, I'm gonna go in the woods, see what's going on. And I was like, what do you mean? What are you talking about? What are you talking about? So he just fucking stops the car and goes into the woods for like 10 minutes. And I was like, what the fuck? And he was like, man, there's something in there. Like, I was like, I know. Like, you didn't need to go in the woods for that. So we then, I'm fucking so scared. I can't even describe how scared I am. I cannot wait for my husband to get home. We then drive around the sticks, and after he'd gone into the woods, we're still driving around, and we see a dog that's very similar to the one that we saw out by the train. So we're like, no, that's weird. And it was like following the car, which is not uncommon for cattle dogs. They do tend to chase after cars and to do that kind of stuff. And then we're still driving, and we're just driving like wherever, you know, we're going like 40 miles an hour down some dirt roads, nothing crazy. We see that dog again, like 10 minutes later. We were freaked. And as we see this dog, we are driving past some cattle. So mind you, we're driving down a dirt road, and there's cattle on either side of us. Like both the cattle are like close to the fence. And only on my friend's side, after he went into the woods, the cattle on his side close to the fence were jumping and running from the car. I have never ever seen anything like that in my entire life, and I've never seen anything like that again. Like literally big fucking jump, run. Every single one of them that was close to the fence. I've never seen anything like that before. So yeah, it was fucking crazy. And the most recent time I was out there was when I was visiting back home, and I told my friend Haley about what had happened, and I was like, I don't ever want to go back out there. Like after what followed me home, after the incident with the dog, I was like, I do not want to go back out there ever again. We went back out there. It was because my husband was visiting, so I was like, yeah, special. Let's go. We were only going through the day. So I am like actively like, I'm not going out to the actual train part. I will stay here on the road near the bridge, which, you know, the bridge is where shit happened anyway. But I was like, I'm not going to the actual train cart. There is something out there. There is something here. So we, like my friend Haley goes, and me and my husband Daniel, we are just kind of hanging out, and Haley doesn't run. Haley hates running. She is sprinting back, and she has a coffee in her hand. Haley does not run. Haley loves coffee with her whole heart. She's running, throws the coffee down. And she gets back out to us, and she's like, man, there's something out there. She felt like she had eyes on her. She felt just so creepy. She said there was a yellow bag, 2 yellow bags out there that stunk. So basically, I had no data on my phone because I was visiting, and I was like, how about you and Daniel go out to the train cart and you guys film it? And I was like, I'll stay here and I'll call 911 in case something happens, because my logic is I will know if something happens to you because I can see you, and I will call 911. I can see and I can hear you. You guys cannot hear and see me. So I was like, well, I'll stay on I'll have the phone with the data because it just makes the most sense. Daniel also had his phone. It, again, had no data. We were visiting. Wasn't matter. We don't need data. So they take my phone, they film on it, and basically they come running back, and I had FaceTimed just one of Haley's friends because I was fucking bugging. I felt watched. It was so creepy. It was so creepy out there. And Haley and Daniel, they come back and they're like, yeah, we felt watched. And obviously Haley said there were 2 yellow bags. There was only 1 now. Daniel also on the way back punted Haley's coffee into the sun. It was really funny. It just like Haley was like running back and Daniel was like, boink, and kicked her coffee. So yeah, they come back to me and we all like, there's only 1 bag, and we all felt watched. So we just fucking hightail it home. I don't think I've ran that fast before in my life. And, we went around like the corner, and the thing is, right out there are some houses that are fucking weird out there. You will not believe me when I say this. I do not care. There's a house out there that has prosthetic limbs hung on a clothesline. I'm not even kidding you. It is fucking terrifying. We were gonna go see those. We're like, nah, we're just fucking leaving. We're leaving. So we just go home, and we get to like the first corner, and Haley's like, you need to pull over. And I was like, well, I don't want to fucking pull over. I was like, I don't want to fucking pull over. What do you mean? And she was like, pull over. So I pulled over, and she just gets out of the car and starts throwing up. Like she was like, I could not stomach it. And she was like, I thought when you said that this place was really scary, that you were just being a pussy bitch. And I was like, man, this place is why I'm a pussy bitch. This place is fucking awful. So yeah, we went home after that. That was the end of our day. That was awful. We are going back to my hometown in the summer. So I'm very excited to go see everyone. We might go do some shenanigans. We might go back out there. Probably not though. If it is up to moi, we're not going out. But we might do. So I might film it because I don't know if I still have that footage that they took on my phone. I might. If I do, I'll include it in the video at the end. If not, then whatever. But thank you for clicking on this video, and thank you for watching. If you've made it all the way to the end, if you think I'm weird, please let me know. But thank you for watching. Please leave a comment, like, and subscribe.